Hi everybody, I'm in the Dalles, Oregon. This is where there was a salmonella poisoning that took place by the Rajneeshpuram commune that was in Wasco County.
In the middle of the holding out, nobody will be dropped out, except fake girls who so hard.
Informants say it was a rehearsal, and it wasn't their first. At Sheila's direction, the Rajneeshees took off their red robes and put on regular clothing and went through the town with spray containers filled with salmonella. In August, their first experiment was spraying the door handles in the county courthouse and produce in the local supermarkets. But no one got sick. Their second experiment in September was to spray salmonella on salad bars in 10 local restaurants, which worked, contaminating over 700 residents. Just before Election Day, the Rajneeshees made plans to contaminate the city's water supply. Apparently, they were unsuccessful.
There was evidence that someone had gotten to the reservoir for the city of Dallas and gotten into it, but no evidence that they actually were contaminated.
All of the Rajneeshee candidates lost in the November elections. Armed with the forensic biological evidence, Sheila and Pooja were extradited from Europe and charged with tampering with consumer products. They both pled guilty, served less than 3 years in federal prison, were released, and fled to Switzerland before state charges could be filed.
The last we knew, Sheila was...
I've done some reporting on this, but something that a lot of folks out here may not know is that event was coordinated by a group that was connected to the production of The Godfather. So when they produced The Godfather, basically the real life Corleones were behind the production. So those unfamiliar with it, there is a man named Albert S. Ruddy that produced The Godfather. And his wife that he got divorced from changed her name to Ma Prem Hasya, and then she joined what was called the Rajneeshpuram movement.
And a vacation, just a few days break from the death threats, the tension, and the media glare, anticipating the grand jury decision.
Why would Bhagwan be leaving, right, with a chartered jet in broad daylight, was press all over the ranch? If he was going to leave the United States, you're insinuating.
Bhagwan's personal attorney claimed that as late as Sunday, he tried but failed to get the government to confirm the indictments were ready so a surrender could be worked out.
Now, the reason why that's relevant to folks is because part of what they did was they went to restaurants when this used to be, it's now a Chinese restaurant, but this used to be a Skipper's. You can actually tell because of the wood paneling. These used to all be a bunch of Skipper's restaurants. And so frequently Skipper's shut down the seafood restaurant. They would turn them into these types of restaurants, right? Independently owned ones. But the point is, back during the Rajneeshpuram incident, I gotta move around a little bit, guys. This particular place was picked as a salmonella poisoning event by that commune. And so a lot of people may not know that the people who did that were also behind the production of the film The Godfather. So guys, like, I hope you're taking me seriously when I tell you that this isn't just like some sort of like Dadaist, ridiculous group of people that make up stories and that confuse people and mix things up a little bit, and sometimes you need them and maybe there's some good type of liars. No, guys, literally what they did in this little town here was, because this is where most of the population come to shop and vote, they created poisoning events where they literally made all these people in this nice town, these nice people in this town, sick in order to take over the politics of a small town where they were putting their commune. I just want you to think about that, guys. That connected to Albert S. Ruddy's ex-wife. Her name was Francoise Ruddy. We all know these are kind of cover personalities for the works when they're surrogates for other people in the Leone Mafia. Remember, guys, the Godfather is about the Corleone. I report about the Leone Mafia. So what really happened out here, guys, when that incident happened? Well, I would argue, guys, that was the Rajneeshpuram incident. Look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about. I would argue that was one of the first times in America, because it was one of the first poisonings that took place to influence an election ever, where they were using Dadaism and ridiculous things mixed in with inverting and corrupting somebody's religion. So they were taking like legitimate elements of Indian mysticism that are actually quite legitimate. And actually, if you understand like these things, they really know what they're talking about. But see, the Rajneeshpuram was basically used as a shell. And then they wound up trying to take over a whole town. They brought in like homeless people from Portland and Eugene, and they had them just move into that town and take over Wasco County politics. So I just wanted you folks to know it does lead back to this town. I'm reporting to you from the Dalles, Oregon, where they did one of their first ever, this mafia did one of their first ever salmonella poisonings while pretending they were just some humble actors or cults or covens, guys. Like, fake religions are one of their favorite covers.
Hey folks, did I mention that right around that same window of time when the Rajneeshpuram incident was going on was when I had a relative that worked here at the Oakdale egg farm. Here's an interesting fact that a viewer shared with me. Thank you to the person who did, by the way. I want to make sure you get acknowledged for this. This wasn't something I discovered on my own. That an oak tree in Hebrew is called an elon.